It's your dog.
It's your dog. Apparently, they know we're about to go live, so they started barking 4 seconds right before the show went live.
Yeah.
So, happy Sunday, y'all.
Happy Sunday, y'all.
I don't know where it came from.
How's it going, everybody? It is Sunday here in Las Vegas. It's very chilly. I can see you in your little hoodie. I've been wearing a hoodie all day, too, but I took it off just before the show. But it is nice and sunshiny outside, which is an improvement because the last week plus, it has been very overcast, and we had a couple of days especially where it was like crazy rainy.
Yeah, it's been raining off and on for like 10 days, and it's not our rainy season. This is a little bit odd for this time of the year. But it, we need it. We don't ever have enough rain here, so it's fine.
Yeah, but it's been real cold. And let me tell you guys, as you know, Vikki and I have lost a lot of weight in the last year. We also lost our insulation because it is like bitter cold, and it's like even with the heat on, like we did finally have to turn the heat on this last week, and even with the heat on, I'm like, why do my bones feel cold? It is
true.
Ridiculous. Not to complain, but I mean, come on. Yes, Tommy, thank you. I do have a fabulous. I know you're talking about mine, not
definitely
not Vicky's.
Katie's got some new hairs.
No, we both got our hairs did. I got my tail continues to grow, and it also is growing on Vikki, which means I'm just wearing her down because she really hated it at first, and now she's like, I kind of like it. So,
it's growing on me.
Yeah, it's growing on you.
I just cut mine off. I didn't do anything to it today. Sorry, guys. This is just a natural. I blow dried the bangs. That was about it. As far as the F1 fireworks, no, we're just a little too outside.
Well, we didn't even try to look, so.
We didn't try to look, but we can't see fireworks from the strip.
No.
We're just a little too far outside of the strip, and God knows we are not going anywhere near that hot mess. F1 is just a complete disaster for this city every year. This is year 3, and it just ends up ruining traffic and wait times and the scenery everywhere, and people that live and work near and around the strip. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes, it brings a lot of money into the city, but
does it really though?
I don't think it makes up for what's happening.
Does it bring any money to like the people of the city, or is it just
it's
certain
just
people that make a lot of money from it?
Yeah, it's just a big old
But yeah, Kathy, I think that also has a lot to do with just living in the desert, because I know, once you get used to...
Yeah, and she's in Tucson, so...
That's why I'm saying
that.
Yeah. Hello, because we're agreeing with each other. Anyway, but as far as the F1 thing, luckily we don't work anywhere down by the strip. I mean, obviously we work from home. So for us, it's as simple as like last week I was like, oh yeah, F1's happening next week. And then, I mean, we didn't have to be anywhere around it, so.
And make sure we avoid it. I did see that Mikey.
Doesn't impact our lives.
Mikey Bags of Money. Mike and Supercourt went. There's one. So we have like the Sphere here, and our friend that works at the Sphere, I know, is able to see everything. So the Sphere is right in the midst of it, and they're filming on the outside of it, showing the practice things. Mm-hmm. So it was raining during the practice rounds, which were Thursday night, I think, and I think F1 just started Friday night. Does it end today already? I don't even know how long it goes. I don't pay attention to this crap. I wouldn't go if you gave me free tickets. Let me be real. But yeah, it's insanity. I don't understand the concept. I've never had any interest in it. In fact, I couldn't have told you what the hell F1 was until it started coming.
Well, and listen, not to yuck other people's yum, whatever. I mean, I do think that people are into the things they're into. I'm into plenty of things that other people would be like, that's ridiculous. I will say with this kind of racing where it's not on its own track, it's like it is annoying when it like takes over your city. And it's annoying when it impacts, people's lives and their jobs, and like that part is like annoying. As far as like, like something like NASCAR where they have their own track, it's like, go for it. Who cares? Like, it's not my thing. But so the F1, like I'm down to bitch a little bit about it just because it's like, it does take over the city, and it has had a pretty big impact. And I don't see any evidence that it actually benefits us financially, personally. So
I just know the people that it really affects, a lot of people that we know that work in and around the strip, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty much fast cars go zoom. That's about it. That's about how exciting it is.
Wait, who is 608997?
I don't know, but
because they got a wrench. I think they changed the name.
Who is that? I don't know.
Yeah, who is that? Or have we forgotten about you and we used to be so close? Anyway, so what else with this last week? Well, we just froze a lot. Yesterday we went to the Blind Center. The Blind Center celebrated their 70th anniversary yesterday. So that was really cool. We got to go. They were also doing an electronics drive. So we took, like, I had my old computer and a monitor, and you had some electronics that you'd gotten through Diane's stuff. That
I had two things
selling.
that don't work from Diane's stuff that she didn't have listed, but was just thrown in there. An old tablet and an old like laptop Chromebook type thing, and a couple of my old one of my old tablets and a couple of old what are the readers, Amazon readers.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing, some of the stuff that doesn't work, like the laptop, worked if it was plugged in, but it wouldn't charge. And so, hopefully they might be able to fix that and then sell it. But even when when it's electronics that don't work, they part it out. They also recycle it, and they do make money off of the scrap. So it's just really easy way to get rid of stuff from your house that you don't want anymore, and for them to benefit from it. But it was really cool. The food was amazing. It was nice to see all of our friends.
The food is always amazing. It's nice to see the people there, the members and the people that work there. They always put on a great spread. So it was a big deal. So there was a lot of local politicians and some representatives and senators and people from the senator's office, I should say. That wasn't the senator herself, one of the senators.
Yeah.
And
okay, I bet Tommy. I bet it's Alexis too.
I think it's Alexis. Yeah. She just can't figure out how to put her name there. I don't know which.
That's fine. I was just like, I don't remember giving a wrench to just a number. Anyway, but it was really cool to go and support the Blind Center, and now we're really excited that we get to go for their Christmas party as well. It's in a few weeks, so. Mm-hmm. Which Vikki
They're
was
our
like,
friends.
Vikki was like, I don't think we get to go to the Christmas party. It's for the members. And I'm like, whatever, we're going to the Christmas party. And then two different people from there brought it up, like they just expected we were coming. And I said, see, we get to go to the Christmas party. So we will be going to the Christmas party. But I will say, so I had my 3-week post-op appointment on Monday. Everything is going well. My lifting restrictions have been up to 20 to 25 pounds. I've been pretty active since week 2. I've been working. I've been doing it quite a bit, actually, just not lifting over my restrictions. Taking a nap every day, which helps. And so yesterday was the first day we had stuff, but we had 2 things. We had the Blind Center, and then we also had Bunko last night. And I was like, oh, man, we got 2 things to do, but whatever.
We do a monthly Bunko game with some of the ladies here in town.
But I'm like, none of that stuff is physically taxing. Well, we went to the Blind Center, and I do think, upon thinking about it now, I think it was more had to do with me standing on the cement floor for a couple of hours that really took it out of me, because I'm here at home, I'm taking pictures, I'm taking care of the dogs, I'm cleaning the kitchen, I'm doing a lot of stuff, and just going to the Blind Center for a couple of hours, I was so beat by the end of it. We came home, I laid down on the couch for a nap, which meant I had 3 dogs on top of me. And then when we went out to Bunko later, maybe an hour into Bunko, I hit my wall, and I was just really had to drag through the rest of the evening.
And when I tell you Bunko, it's 6 to 9, right? It's old ladies. We get together.
We're just sitting and rolling some
dice.
Have
some wine, roll some dice, chit chat, giggle a little bit. We bring a potluck. We do it once a month with some local friends in town, and it's nice. We have fun. It's I'm not denigrating it. In fact, I never thought that I would actually enjoy it as much as I do, but it's fun. It's fun.
But man, I just hit
I looked over at her. She was sitting at a different table. I looked over at her at about 8 o'clock, and her face was white, and she just looked completely wiped. And obviously we couldn't leave right in the middle of the game. It doesn't work like that. But she really had to struggle through that last hour.
We've had our friends Britt and James and Ari over 2 different nights where we hung out, played games, whatever. None of those activities have wiped me out. So it's I said, all I can think is it was just being on my feet for a couple hours straight at the Blind Center.
Maybe.
Because this is the first time where I really was oh man, I think I did too much. We got home and I was I just gotta go to bed. I gotta get in bed now. But yeah, but see, Tommy, that's what I mean. Here at home, I'm up and down the stairs a lot during the day, and I'm pretty active. I've been pretty active. Like, I see a lot of other women talking about recovery from a hysterectomy, and they're not as like I think I'm in the upper, whatever you want to call it, percentile as far as like activity. So I was kind of surprised at how wiped out. But I woke up today and I'm totally fine. But the nice thing is I slept through the night, didn't have to get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So apparently surgery worked.
The bladder is working appropriately.
Anyway, so
yeah, that was our week pretty much. We had a game night, we had trivia game night with our friend Britt and James and Ari, and Katie made dinner. Everybody came over and hung out. So, hey guys, how are you?
Yeah, so we had a really good week. And sales kind of so-so. I wouldn't say it's another year where it's not very fourth quartery. I don't know about anybody else. I mean, I'm sure it has a lot to do with what we sell in the economy and all kinds of things. But
yeah,
my sales, mine haven't gone down. Like, I'm just kind of puttering along. I'm just kind of
might have gone up a little bit, but it's nowhere near Q4 of Q4's past. Right? Last year was a terrible Q4. This year is not any better than it was last year. In fact, it's worse than it was last year, but it's better than it's been in general. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Online sales is a roller coaster. I don't think that there are a lot of us that have been doing this for 25 years plus that are doing as well now as we were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 3 years ago.
And we have friends who are like pretty big sellers, like make us look like nothing as far as like the level of sales that they have. And they're like, yeah, our numbers are way down. Like it's a very different landscape now. So it is what it is, but we'll get more into. I
think the people that are doing really, really well are the people that are consistently selling on Whatnot. I have to be honest with you. Between District and Whatnot, live selling, TikTok selling, whatever, people that have built that following and have the inventory that comes in a large quantity for pennies on the dollar, and they're selling 5, 6, 800,000 items a month, but they're selling them at rock bottom prices. If you have the ability to bring that type of inventory in, build your audience and sell live like that, then please go ahead and do that for sure.
Yeah. Or maybe the people who are selling like electronics and like used electronics and stuff like that.
Certain things that you can't buy elsewhere. Yeah. I mean, I'm still, don't get me wrong, I'm still making enough money to live, but this is nowhere near the business that my business used to be. And I built my business pretty hard. I was looking at my 90-day total. I had seen a screenshot from 4 years ago, or even, actually it was 7 years ago was the screenshot. It was from like an Instagram post I'd done 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Now I'm talking pre-COVID, right? We all know pandemic numbers. Take that out of the equation. God,
what a year.
Give me another pandemic.
What a year.
Please, God.
Not really, but kind of. Not really.
But anyway, 7 years ago, my 90-day sales total was more than double what my totals are today, with half of the number of items listed for sale. Yeah. And that was 7 years ago when I was not working nearly as hard as I am now. And I was only on eBay then. So yeah, double. Yeah. My Poshmark is still okay. It's not fantastic. But my Etsy is doing way better. My Etsy beat eBay last week. My Etsy in general is up. I'm up about 15% year over year, which is good. That used to be my average on eBay. Every year I would go up 15 to 20% on the previous year. Now it goes down 15 to 20% year over year. But yeah, if you're not cross-listing, like Alexa said, if you're not cross-listing, if you're not cross-posting to other platforms, you are really shooting yourself in the foot, because eBay is, yes, they are still the biggest monster in the room, but they are not the only game in town. And you're really doing yourself a disservice to not be on at least 1 to 2 other platforms, regardless of what you sell. Obviously, I have my list perfectly listed below. If it's something that you're interested in, I would not be able to pay my bills. I would have had to get a full-time job in the last couple of years if I did not have a cross-posting.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't sell just clothing. That's the thing. So I sell probably 70% of my inventory is clothing, 30% hard goods of all different types. I don't niche necessarily. But anyway, yeah, I think you really do need to be cross-posting, and I think you need to have, I think unless you are in a very competitive niche, you need to have your eggs in more than one basket.
So speaking of the holidays, we've got Black Friday sales happening now, and coming up. Anybody got stuff they're planning on buying or looking to buy? What about you? Anything?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
The one thing I ended up getting, guys, I finally got myself a new smartwatch, and what's funny is I had a Fitbit before, and I loved it, and then we went on a cruise, it's probably like at this point almost 2 years ago, and we were in Jamaica, and I went in the ocean, and it killed my
Even
Fitbit.
though it was supposed to be waterproof.
Yeah, it killed my Fitbit, and I hadn't replaced it, and then I finally, for some reason, I think just because I've been getting more active and stuff, and planning on getting back to the gym here soon, I was like, all right, I need to get a new smartwatch. So I decided to get a Samsung Galaxy one. And so I was looking on eBay, and I was like, I don't know what's going to be good or whatever. So then I was looking on Amazon, and I saw I think the current one is like an 8. And so I was looking at the 6s, and they had like a refurbished division on Amazon. So stupid me thought, oh, if it's like an official Amazon refurbished, that means it's good, right? Like it's at least legit, not going to be fake. Well, I got it, and it was like definitely
fake.
Like the quality was really bad.
Fake as hell.
Fake. Didn't even turn on, didn't charge, and it was like just terrible. So I immediately opened a return, and then I ended up they had a Black Friday sale going for the 7, which is, so again, like, I think they're on the 8 right now. And so I went ahead and got that one, and so that's what I got right now, and I'm pretty stoked about it.
I'm pretty excited by it.
And here's a little trick, guys. So this one is on sale for like $129. It's got a green band, and they had this one, and I think like a pink one, and some other color, but not black, which is what I want. But the bands are, you can get a new band for like $5, so I'm going to get a black band, but I got a really good deal, $130.
All right.
On Amazon. So that's my story.
So Lisa, I see you'd like to cross-list to another site. Would you suggest Etsy? What do you sell mostly, Lisa? That's your question. Etsy is for handmade, upcycled, or vintage, 20 years or older. If you sell a lot of vintage, I highly suggest using Etsy. Yes, Etsy is my favorite platform. It is not my most profitable, but it is my favorite. You get higher prices. I don't offer returns, and I never get returns on Etsy, and it does not affect you to not have returns. Also, Etsy is a company that you are literally just using their platform to sell. You are not dealing with any of the rigmarole you deal with on eBay. Your business is your business. They don't dictate how you do things. You create your shop policies, you create your shipping policies, you create what you want to sell, where you want to sell it. And I have maybe dealt with Etsy customer service once in 4,000 transactions. And so if you're selling mainly vintage and antiques, then yes, you need to be on Etsy.
For sure.
You can use, if you're interested in List Perfectly, my code gives you 30% off your first month. My code is just LVPinkPeacock. The links are down below. But also, happy to get you into the List Perfectly Facebook group. There's lots of tutorials and information on how to make the site work best for you. Even if you're just using it just as a cross-posting tool, which it has many more capabilities than just that. But I just absolutely love Etsy. I wish that I had the velocity on Etsy that I have on eBay.
Yeah.
But Etsy is my favorite platform.
True. All right, let's go ahead and jump into sharing our sales highlights for the last week, and then we can get back to talking about
just chit-chatting,
the state of the world, our goals, what we want to accomplish.
Oh, the state of the world. I don't think we have enough
of an audience to have that conversation. As resellers.
All right. Let's not get into the state of the world.
All right, please. Speaking of Etsy, or no, this is not Etsy. Not speaking of Etsy. Speaking of blankets. Sorry.
Speaking of blankets.
Kathy was talking about quilts and stuff. But speaking of blankets,
I love quilts and blankets. You guys know that. Those of you that follow me know that I love quilts and blankets. I've been talking about selling beater lac in San Marcos now for well over 10 years. At least the last 8 to 9 years that I've been on YouTube or been talking on YouTube on other people's shows. You don't quite get the amount of money for them that you used to get, but this is just a small beater lac. This isn't even super vintage. This is probably late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. When they're made in Cumberland, Maryland. There's a different a tag that was an older tag that maybe got more, but the whole ducks was very 90s, right? The ducks, everything was 90s. So this was one of Diane's.
Oh, you got a beater lack out of her stuff, huh?
Yeah, one of Diane's items. And it sold for the price you see there. Nothing fantastic, not super high, but they're still well over $50. And this one I think is a very basic one. I think if it had a more, interesting pattern or subject matter.
Poor little ducks.
I mean, I think ducks are boring as shit. I probably wouldn't even have picked this up if I saw it in the wilds now. Yeah.
Even for $5?
Maybe for $5. But sold for $67 plus $15 shipping, and customers happy. I was happy. It wasn't listed very long, maybe about 60 days.
Yeah. All right. First one for me. Now this is nothing too exciting, but with true vintage not getting as great of prices, I have found that retro stuff I'm actually doing okay on. So like this T-shirt, I paid $1 for it like a week ago, and it's just a cute little ringer tee. Kind of retro, looks like it could be a vintage
little
T-shirt.
Faded.
And like I said, I paid $1 for it, and I sold it for $23.99 plus $5.95 shipping. And it's just a used non-vintage T-shirt. And you can find this kind of stuff anywhere. And so that's a lot of what I'm doing now is kind of moving in that direction, just because it's available, it's cheap. And the time that I would have to put into going to the bins to hopefully get some vintage that's not going to sell for higher prices. Unfortunately, I'm doing the lame-o boring stuff of like non-vintage like this, but hey, pays the bills, right?
I mean, that's really bottom line what we're all trying to do, right?
Yep.
This is another of Diane's. Now, it's not bad considering I didn't take these photos, and neither did my people. Most of her photos, God love her. Di, I love you, but your photos suck. These
Is
pictures,
it really this yellow in person?
Yeah, it's like that
okay.
that ivory yellowy color.
Okay.
Anyway, this one it sold. This was listed for about 2 months as well. I normally would have listed this and gone for a much higher price, but this particular brand actually did not sell as high as some of the others. So, and again, I'm not looking to hold out for higher prices anymore. So it sold fairly quickly for $67 plus shipping.
That's really good.
That's definitely a grandpa.
Brochure.
It has the brochure that was from the brand, and it had the plastic bag that it came in.
Yeah, nice. All right, next up, again, speaking of retro, this is not a vintage shirt.
Did you put Vaporwave in the title?
No. This is not, I don't think anyone's searching like that by that. This is not a vintage shirt at all, but it's super cool and it's very retro. This all over print.
Totally looks like a 90s.
Yeah, it totally does. And it's even got like the thick collar. Like you wouldn't, if you weren't looking up close to see if it was single stitch, which it's not, you probably wouldn't even realize it wasn't vintage. But it's just a, printed tag. I didn't sell, I sold it for $30. I sent an offer for $30, but again, I got this for like $5 and listed this within the last 2 weeks. So it sold very quickly for $30 plus shipping. I paid like $5 for it. So again, people are looking for that vintage look, but they don't necessarily need it to be actually vintage. And they're not going to pay a crazy amount for it for the most part. It's just not happening anymore unless you have some really rare band tee. It's just not happening anymore like it used to.
I just wanted to touch on Jen's comment in there. Scroll up just a little bit. Jen said, I sell vintage and followed my advice and started cross-listing a year ago. Made great sales on that platform. I think Etsy, she means. Sold a 70s men's corduroy burnt orange suit to a movie studio last week. Biggest dollar sale of 2025. Do tell. Tell us how much you sold it for.
How much you sell it for. And do you know what movie it is going to be for? That's what I want to know.
I know. I love selling to movie studios. That's my favorite. And let's see. Gabriel says, everyone's business is struggling. The thing is, babe, stop.
Okay, sorry.
The thing is, not everyone is as open about it as you are. Most people, not just resellers, are behind on their credit cards. Yeah, I have read that. Gabriella, sorry. Yeah, I do know that businesses are struggling in all sectors of business in general.
We know the economy's a lot of it.
The whole country. It's not just us. But yeah, we have been pretty open about it. We've been talking about it for a couple of years now, how different our businesses are.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
All right.
So
next one for you.
This I still pick these up, guys. I know that not a lot of people pick these things up. I pick they're heavy as hell. These big, heavy silk jackets with all the sequins and the beading. I don't know who wears these things, but God love them because they do, and they buy them. This is a 3XL. This is a big size. It's sold to the price you see there, $91. 2-3 years ago, I probably would have gotten $150.
This makes me think of something that what's her name, Linda, would wear in Coffee Talk on Saturday Night Live.
Yes,
Mike Myers.
Yes, probably, probably very Barbara.
This is just something that, like, I've had it forever. I think I got it at the bins, but it's actually women's, and it's a little set. It was shorts and the shirt. And I had it for a very long time, and I finally...
Well, the fact that it's women's is probably what hurt you, because that does not look like that looks like a men's cabana set. Yeah. That's what they would call it.
If it was a different color scheme, I would have kept it for myself. And,
it's called the cabana set.
Because it probably would fit me pretty well now. But I sent an offer for $30 and finally sold it, which I'm glad, because I couldn't even remember. I was like, now where did I put that? Because it's got shorts, but it's the top two. Did I put it with the Hawaiian shirts? Did I put it with the shorts? I don't know. I can't remember. It took me a little while to find it. And then I did put it with the shirts. But anyway, I was glad to get rid of it. I'm like, I'm done with it.
Get out.
Get out of here.
Okay, this actually came from Diane's inventory as well. Now, here's the thing. We've all seen these little memes and these reels talking about how this stuff is worth $1 bazillion these days. These Corningware. Listen, Corningware open stock with this blue, cornflower blue pattern has been around since the 50s, late 50s, early 60s, this pattern. There's bazillions of them out there. They are not worth a lot of money. However, this one was dead stock. This was in the box from the 60s, and it was obviously in perfect condition. So this did sell for the price you see there. It sold for $100, and it actually is on the high end of what they would sell for. I priced it high, knowing it was going to go on sale, knowing it would probably sit for a while because there's so many out there, but there's not a lot of dead stock, bigger pieces. This is like I don't know why they call it a skillet, but that's what they called it. I think of a skillet, I think of a pan.
Yeah.
But this is just like a casserole type of dish.
Tommy, I'm just going to need you to shut the hell up. And Jen says that the suit was mint, found at the bins, and sold to a costume designer in Austin, Texas, and delivered to the studio. $400.
Nice. Good sale. Congratulations.
Very good sale. All right. Next up for me, guys, I sold something for Thanksgiving. Now, this is not a vintage shirt. This is just a sweatshirt. It's ridiculous. Leftovers are for quitters.
Oh, man. Why did you sell? I would have worn it on Thursday.
It's an XL. I think it's too big.
I don't mind wearing oversized.
But it did sell for the price you see there, $41.99 plus $8.95 shipping. I think I got this last year, and I probably got it in the bin, so I maybe paid like $3 for it. It's just like a ridiculous, like
I've got to dig through the Thanksgiving T-shirts that you have and see. Did you get rid of all of them?
I got rid of most of my stuff, but I do still have my Bob's Burgers T-shirt, which I will be wearing.
Do you still have the Team Cranberry one?
Yes, but it's gonna be too big on you.
I'll wear it over something.
All right. Anyway, I do have my Bob's Burgers. Linda singing her Thanksgiving song, which is Vicky's favorite. I like to play it for her.
She plays it for me every Thanksgiving, and it makes me want to stab her in the eye.
It's the best Thanksgiving Day song ever. Anyway, so I was very happy that I sold a Thanksgiving thing. And I sold a turkey trot, like 5K t-shirt as well.
Of course you did.
Getting my Christmas or my Thanksgiving.
Okay, this was also, again, most of this stuff is going to be, though, when I show you stuff lately, is going to be from Diane's inventory, because that's the only thing I've listed since the end of May, is everything that came from my road trip. Okay, so this sold for the price you see there. This was listed for about less than 30 days. Collage photos, she probably had 3 or 4 items that had collage photos like this, and I think in this case it was a great collage photo. This is a beautiful piece of lingerie. It's quite lovely, actually. It's a Vanity Fair set. If only it were longer and it were Olga with a big full sweep, it probably would have sold for $200. But I think it was quite pretty.
Is that how this word is spelled?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
Peignoir?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a French word, honey.
I understand. I didn't know it was spelled like that.
Yes, that's how it's spelled. Anyway, great shape. Buyer was thrilled. Already received positive feedback on it, and it was listed for less than 30 days. Again, I'm pricing things competitively. I have almost 6,000 items in my store, and I've been adding and adding and adding so much over these last 6 months. I don't want to sit on these items. I'm not trying to get the highest price. I'm trying to get them sold.
Yeah. Tommy, we're actually having a mini Thanksgiving dinner today, just the two of us. And then on Thursday, we're going to be volunteering, helping feed people and clothing drive and all this stuff. And then having dinner with our friends who are the organizers. So we're not actually going to be crashing someone's house. We're going to be going out. I don't even know where we're going. Who knows? I don't know if I'm going to make it that day, though. Like, I'm thinking,
it's going to be a long day. We'll have to go back to the car and take a nap.
I might have to nap in the car while Vikki volunteers, but I'll do what I got to do. Anyway.
Normally we cook. So normally, we're not crashing, but this is our 3rd year that we're going and volunteering. This is last year was the first year I didn't cook since I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And this year will be the 2nd year, and we're just not holidaying this year, but I don't mind going and volunteering. In fact, I like it. I prefer it. So we're gonna go and feed the homeless on Thursday, and then those of us that are hanging out with the organizers are gonna go and do dinner as a group later on.
Yeah, I don't know where though.
I don't know where either. I think the Golden Nugget. I think she has.
Oh, okay.
I think she has a reservation somewhere.
Gotcha.
There.
Gotcha. All right, look at this awesome bark cloth. So this is something I just picked up in the last week or two. I think I paid $5 for it. It's a cool design. It's bark cloth. The brand is not anything special.
Doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter, but the brand's not anything special. Somebody sent me an offer for $46.88, and I was like, okay, I'll take your $46.88.
As opposed to $59.99, $46.88. That's a
I know, it's just
odd number.
I'm like, of course I'll take that, plus shipping. And so I was actually very happy. I think I had it listed for a day and a half. I think I had put it away, and then the next day it sold. So I was actually very happy about that. But it's a very cool kind of tiki style Hawaiian shirt with the bark cloth. I never pass up bark cloth if it's cheap enough. It's always very desirable.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Again, this is just to show that I will pick up every flippin' tree skirt every time I find them at the bins or garage sales. You're going to pay a couple of bucks for them, and the brand is irrelevant. Of course, if you find a Pier 1 or Restoration Hardware or an Anthropology or anything like that, you're going to get much more money for them. But this is just a no-name. This was probably a Walmart or Kmart or Target special.
Yeah.
And it had no brand on it, no tags on it. It's just, probably late 90s based on the color schemes. And it sold for $45, plus they paid $15 shipping.
Nice.
I mean, you can't really beat and they're so easy to photograph and ship, right? You can't really don't leave them behind is all I'm saying. When you find tree skirts, grab them.
Yep.
Not always are they in good shape, and that's usually why people end up getting rid of them, because people use them forever. But people that tend to change their decor or change their themes of their trees yearly or every couple of years, which a lot of people do, are going to search for color schemes and specific colors, and they're going to pay top dollar this time of the year because, let's face it, you can't even buy a tree skirt for $40 brand new at Walmart these days. So they're going to be looking to buy whatever they can get in that price range, and used means they can generally get something nicer than they can get.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next up is this, I don't know, how do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce this brand?
Bonhomme?
I don't know. Okay.
Bonhomme.
Okay, I'll accept that. I got this at the bins, I believe, and it's very light, so I probably paid $1 or $2 for it. But I sold it for the price you see there. This is my big sale of the week. Ooh. $59.99. Ooh. It is ridiculous. It looks like Grandma's couch from
it does.
The 80s, 90s. Yeah, I think I've had this for probably, I got it at some point within the last year. So not a crazy long time, but a decent amount of time. And I sold it for $59.99. And again, paid $3 for it.
It's funny. So Jane says there's a show on HGTV called Hoarding for the Holidays. Holy moly, these people are nuts for Christmas. Listen, I have no room to talk. Those of you that know.
Yeah.
I do a lot of Christmas. I have a lot of Christmas decor. I will say I've been giving an awful lot of thought lately to how much stuff I actually have, because if we are thinking of moving in a couple of years, I need to significantly downsize.
Well, and I pay a lot for storage for that.
I need to significantly downsize because it will not be coming with us because we will not be getting a home this big. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know. All right, next up for you.
This is just this is a vintage eelskin purse. I have several of them in different. I never pass up eelskin. You can never, you can't not know what it is once you know what it is. It feels a certain way. Eel leather is just incredibly soft and supple. This was a dead stock shoulder bag. It's not super old, but it was probably 60s, 70s ish. It's a beautiful handbag. It was never used. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's sold for the price you see there. I picked it up at a garage sale. I probably paid $2-3 for it. And yeah.
Nice. I picked this up at Goodwill when I went on day 6 after my surgery.
You did.
And I made Vikki take me to Goodwill because I needed help carrying my stuff out. And I grabbed this, and I actually said to Vikki, because it wasn't on sale, so I think it was $8.99, and I said to her, I'm like, do you think this is worth getting for $8.99? And she was like, yeah. And I can't remember how much you told me you thought I could sell it for.
But I probably said 50 or 60.
Right. However, this had a couple of holes in it, and when I first picked it up, I thought I was about repairing it, and I was like, I don't care. I don't have the energy to do such things. But it sold for $44.09, and sold very
about a week.
Yeah, sold very, very quickly. So it was a good deal. So don't pass up these kinds of sweaters. They're always going to do pretty well, I think.
Okay, this is probably the lamest Patagonia I've ever picked up or sold, but it is what it is, right? It sold for $60 plus shipping. It was one of the really thin ones, and definitely well worn because it was really, soft and nubby, and you can tell by my photos that it's definitely been washed and dried quite a bit. Mm-hmm. It wasn't listed very long, maybe 3-4 months, which is not long in the world of things for my stuff anyway. But yeah, it sold for $60 plus shipping. I'm happy to be rid of it.
Get out of here. All right, here's another Christmas sweater. Only this is a sweater vest. Now this I got sometime, I don't remember, last year.
That's hideous.
It's very hideous, and I am 99.9% sure that I got this at the bins, so I paid like maybe a couple bucks for it. It is just absolutely ridiculous.
That's ugly as shit.
Yep, but so I went ahead and sold it for $44.09, but look at it. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Now Alexis is an 8K. I don't understand. Okay, so I've had a couple of halfway decent sales on Poshmark this week. Despite the Poshmark debacle, if you are using a third-party app to share, other than List Perfectly, you were locked out of your Poshmark account with the sharing service for at least a couple of days this week. It has something to do with the way that they log in, and they use your logins to do the sharing. I use a third-party app just because it does bulk sharing, and you don't have to have your computer open and running. I've talked about it before. If you're already using List Perfectly, go ahead and use theirs. It's free. I use this because I've been using it for a long time, but also they do a Macari one, and nobody else has a Macari bot. But I use it just for the sharing part and the delist and relist. Anyway, it's fixed now, I think, but we'll see. This was a bins buy, sold for $60. I don't know why it's crooked on the mannequin, but it is. Sold for $60. It was just this long blazer topper thing. It was kind of cool. Nothing special as far as brand or anything like that.
Interesting. All right, next up for me, not very exciting. I'm sure I've had this for quite a while. Maybe I paid like $10 for it. It's pretty boring, but I sold it on Etsy, and it was one of my better sales. So, again, maybe I paid $10 for it, but I always get...
Strike hard, strike home?
Yeah.
Oh, Navy, all right.
I always pick up military stuff like this.
I do too. I couldn't tell it was Mississippi military. I didn't know.
Yeah, but... this stuff doesn't sell as like crazy like it used to.
It used to sell for a lot more.
Yeah, but $62.99, not too shabby. It's all right.
This is my other decent sale, another quilt. Again, you guys know I'm always going to pick up quilts, especially when they're handmade or hand sewn. As this was a bins buy. I probably paid $7-8 for it based on the weight. And it was hand stitched, as you can see, the uneven stitching. But full 90s. Look at those colors. I mean, hunter green, burgundy. I mean, you have some navy blue in there, and you have the trifecta, maybe some mustard yellow, and you'd have all the quad colors of the 90s. But sold for $75. I was happy to accept that offer because obviously then I just have my shipping label to throw on it, and I don't have to worry about what I put it in or anything like that. It was under 5 pounds, and off it went.
There you go. All right, and my last one. Look at this. Look at it. Got a Jesus sweatshirt.
Another one.
I got this at the bins. This is I've had for a while because I can tell because it's when I went through a very brief flat lay phase. But this one's ridiculous. It was pretty much dead stock. It made me think of, I don't know if any of you grew up going to VBS, Vacation Bible School, or there used to be a thing, why can't I think of what it was called, like these little Bible studies that you would go to as a kid, these little club. It's not VBS, but something else, and my mind's gone blank. But you'd get these little velvety Bibles, like they were just made of not velvet, but what's that material, like crafting material?
Velour?
No, that like it's just a sheet and it's like greens and reds and.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, it was like a little fake Bible and it was green, and then the inside it would have like little pages. Felt. That's what it is. Felt. Sorry.
Oh. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Somebody out there is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But
well, I went to Catholic school. We didn't have Bible study.
It was like specifically for kids. It wasn't vacation. Vacation Bible school was like a week-long thing every summer. This was like at somebody's house, and I can't remember what it was called, but it had like a name.
Yep. See, Jen knew you were saying felt anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's what it makes me think of. It kind of is flashback to my childhood. This little. Not Sunday school. It was like at somebody's house. It was like you would pin it to your shirt, so I guess everybody could know that you loved your felt Bible.
Okay.
And all that jazz.
I've never heard of a felt Bible, but okay.
Yeah, you pin it to your, not CCD.
No, CCD is Catholic.
Yeah. I did Sunday school too, but that was just on Sundays, and it was at church. We like to us Protestants, us Baptists, we like to cram in as many days of the week as you can for Jesus.
Yeah, Catholics are just Sunday Catholics.
Yeah. We've got like Awanas and VBS and Bible study and
we didn't have
church and Sunday school.
We didn't have like Catholic summer camp or things like that. You didn't have
Awanas, which is basically like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts only for Jesus.
No, none of that. We had none of that. Like Susie says, us Catholics had catechism. Yeah, CCD and catechism. CCD was if you didn't go to Catholic school, you went to, it's basically Bible study. And then if you went to Catholic school, you didn't go to any of that stuff because you had Catholic education every day or at least a few times a week.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Then we had youth group. I mean, there was just, it was
a
lot. It was a lot, guys. We had a lot of stuff that we had to go to. It was too much. A little traumatized. That's all I have to say about that. Anyway, yeah. So that's my Jesus sale of the week. I've had some decent sales on Poshmark, despite the fact that I literally have not cross-posted on there since January. So I had grand plans that like my week to 2 weeks in bed, recuperating from my surgery. I was totally going to be doing cross-posting to Poshmark, and then I ended up being in the hospital for the majority of my convalescing time, and
she didn't spend any time in bed once she got home.
Once I got home, I was like, let's go. I mean, I take naps, but that's for sleeping, guys. That's for sleeping.
Oh, Kathy says she went to Catholic school, mass every day. God, I didn't go to mass every day. We went the High Holy Days.
You went to the Sinners
Sunday
Catholic
mass.
School, apparently.
No, and we went to any of the holy days, and then First Friday. We're gonna say First Friday. Am I right about that? First Friday. And then every Friday during Advent and Lent, we would have, mass in the church next door to the school. But yeah.
I don't know. I was Baptist, not Catholic, but I grew up in a Catholic town, so the Catholic church was right up the street. My kindergarten was in the basement of the Catholic church. We would get our hearing test done in the monastery.
The monastery?
Yeah, there's a monastery.
You mean the rectory?
No, the monastery where the nuns used to live. They didn't live there anymore.
Convent.
or not the, whatever it was.
A monastery is not a...
Not my, it was wherever they used to house the priests and or nuns.
A rectory is for the priests and a convent is for nuns.
Okay, so it might have been the convent. It was not being actively, it was owned by the Catholic Church, but it wasn't being actively used by, because they didn't really have regular nuns there. But anyway, that's where we get our hearing test done, so.
Yeah, Kathy, I went to K through 8th grade as well. Sunday Mass was required for sure. I used to have to go and on my own once I got old enough, before I made my confirmation, I used to have to go every Sunday and have to bring home the missal or the pamphlet from Sunday Mass to prove that I was actually there. So then, of course, by the time I was about 15, I would go in the back door, get the missal, and leave and not go to Mass. I was terrible.
So naughty.
Terrible.
So naughty.
And then, you had to prove it because you have to, leading up to when you get your confirmation, you had to prove that you went to Mass every weekend.
Yeah. Anyway, so going back to some of the goals that we set last week, I know the major one that I had done, I keep talking about, I'm doing my 10 listings every day. I've been keeping up on that very faithfully.
Good.
And then my big goal, I had said by the end of the year, but realistically the end of January, was to get to 200 listings in my draft bank. I actually think I might be able to do it by the end of the year, because I'm currently, by the end of today, I still have to do my listing today, but by the end of today, I will have 60 in my draft bank. And you are now going to be going to Florida for almost a week with Trish later in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And so I'm going to have
going back to Florida, guys.
Yeah, so which is really good, because you guys can both use some buddy time, and you're going to get to do some really fun Christmas stuff. And
we're going to see Disney at Christmas, because one thing that happened when we were at Disney, 6 weeks ago?
Well, we went to Disney in, what was it? End of September. Specifically, we went at that time because we wanted to go for the Mickey's Halloween party. Like, that was kind of like,
we planned it around that.
Everything else was planned around going to the Halloween party. Well, the day that we went to, because that was at, the Halloween party was in Magic Kingdom, right? The day that we went for the Halloween party, now every day there was like a little bit of rain at certain times, but it was
which is normal,
largely fine. Well, especially that time of year, it was largely fine. But the day that we went for the Halloween party, it was pouring, and they ended up, there's like a big parade that they do, and that kept getting pushed back, and then we thought it was totally canceled, and so we finally left, and then we found out like a half an hour after we left it actually did happen. But it poured so much.
There were no characters out, and you pay extra to go to this, first of all. So what happened was, I've never known of Disney doing this. They actually refunded everyone's ticket that was there, and they gave you 1 year to use your ticket again. We didn't think we were going to use our tickets. They
didn't refund you. They credited you.
They credited
basically said within the next year you can come back for 1 day for free, but you
to any of the parks.
But they did it because you do pay extra. It's separate from a regular park ticket, and so to have it be rained out kind of sucks. So you're going to be able to use that for a Christmas visit.
Yeah, I'm going to go see the Christmas stuff at Disney, and we're going to go see TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And we're going to see some other thing in Orlando it's
like the Island of Misfit Toys thing.
We're doing all the Christmassy stuff.
So, and I will be at home. The point of me bringing that up is that I will take advantage of that time to see if I can really build up my my draft bank. Now, Alexis, who is kind of my accountability buddy, accountability buddy. She had the absolute gall to be like, so what do you need 200 for? What are you doing? What's it for? Is it for something specific? No, it's not. It's more, it gives me a lot more flexibility, because what's happened in the past is I would always be doing this. I'd be like, okay, we're going on a cruise, or we're going and doing this thing, and I need to have 100 listings. And so I do all this work to get these 100 listings, so I'd have 10 days of listings ready to go, and it'd be great, but then I'd burn through it all, and then I'd get back, and I'd be back down to zero, and it kind of took away any flexibility I had. So I'd love to be able to have this flexibility where you never know what's going to happen. Something happens for some reason, I can't work for a few days, or even like just want to be like, I just really don't want to do anything today, and I've got 200 in the bank, so who cares if I have one day where I don't do anything, or 2 days I don't do anything, like, I can do that. Because let me tell you, if I ever randomly on a Wednesday said to Vikki, let's not do anything, let's stay in bed and watch movies, she'd be like, okay.
Every time.
But I don't ever do that. So
no, you don't. So yeah, TSO is great. Katy and I went last year with our friends Dynasty and Adrian here in town. They don't come to Vegas very often. When I lived in New England, Lisa, I used to go every single year. It was a tradition. I would go and see TSO every single year. And then when I moved here, in the 13 Christmas seasons I've lived here, they've only been to Vegas once, and that was last year. So they're not here this year. Also, my friend's daughter, my friend, Gabby, has been singing with the East Coast one. This is her 4th year, I believe, singing with TSO. Sadly, there's an East Coast and a West Coast troupe, and they split the shows throughout the country. Sadly, for some reason, the West Coast troupe is actually doing the show in Orlando, not the East Coast troupe. So I will not be going to see my friend Gabby. I was very excited. I was texting with her mom. I'm like, is this Gabby's on this tour? And she's like, nope.
That's a bummer.
Doesn't make any sense how they split it. But anyway, I'm still excited. We're going to have fun. And we're going to dress in silly Christmas outfits. And I'm excited.
Alexis, see, I think that what you should do is you should build up a bank that's like 7 days worth, that's untouchable unless you have a real reason, and then anything above that you can use up for stupid reasons, and then that way if you ever want to take off for the weekend to go source somewhere else, I don't know, maybe in Vegas, you don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to be listening.
You don't have to stay up when we go to bed. You don't have to stay up with the dogs on the couch getting your listings done at net.
She'd probably still do that. She'd probably still do that. But anyway, so that's what's going on with us. We also I made like a whole list of all the Christmas stuff that is going on here in Vegas. I told Vikki that, since we're not decorating for Christmas and we're not going anywhere, now she's going somewhere. But before she had made that decision, I was like, we got to do something every single day that's Christmas related. And it doesn't mean we have to go out every day, but that means if we're home and we don't go somewhere, we got to watch some stupid Christmas movie or something like that. And so I've got a whole list going. Plus, we got a cheese advent calendar from Aldi. You're not going to be here for some of it, but I'm not waiting. I'm going to be.
I guess I'm going to miss out on the daily bite of cheese. You're going to miss out
on six cheese days, and my goal is to update the Facebook every day with whatever the cheese is.
Oh my God, you're funny.
And it's because I got 24 cheeses to try. I'm pretty excited about it. There's an assortment of all kinds of cheeses from all over the world. So we got some goat cheese in there. I think there's some sheep cheese, some Gouda.
Outrageous, Alexa says. Kim, good to see you in the live. I don't think I've ever seen you in one of our lives. Looking forward to seeing you and Parker, hopefully, when you come into town. Katy and her BFF Parker, she'll be very happy to hang out with him again. It'll be nice to see you guys. Just shoot me a text and remind me what days you're going to be here again. I completely forgot. I know you're coming in December. I think I wrote it down.
Maybe we can do something Christmassy.
Yeah.
Go somewhere. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on here for Christmas. Some of it costs money. Some of it's free. There's like an electric light parade that we're going to go to. That's free. That's like downtown Henderson.
There's a lot of fun things to do.
There's
it's kind of
the conservatory at the Bellagio.
Can't miss that. We go every year.
There's some paid stuff like we want to go check out at Resorts World. They have it's like 10,000 acres of like Christmas lights and trees, and I don't even know what all's in there, but that one you have to pay for. You have to get tickets for, but we're gonna do it.
I love to do all the Christmassy stuff. So one of the things Trish and I are gonna do when we're in Florida, I mean, she has to work. She's not taking time off, so we're gonna do a lot of the stuff we're doing is gonna be on the weekend that I'm there, but we'll do stuff in the afternoon when she's done working. But we're going to go and see all the Disney resorts, all the big resorts, and see how they've decorated all the hotels and stuff. I know it's silly stuff, but I love that.
Yeah.
I love that kind of
thing. Hold on. There's a cheese crime being committed. There is a cheese calendar, okay? And there's the 24 cheese advent calendar, and then they also have a 12 cheese, which that's bigger pieces of cheese. I didn't get that one because it was only 12. I wanted to do the advent calendar one. So if they still have, you need to You need to reach out
I'm going to come
after
home
this.
and there will be 6 days where there is like a bite taken out of the cheese and it's stuck back in the closet in the little
whatever.
thing,
Maybe if it's gross. Otherwise, I'm not saving it for you. I'm going to eat it myself. I might actually just share it with the dogs and we'll see which ones they like the best. I think it's just like a little piece. But the 12-day one is like, they're like bigger pieces of cheese. And that one's like actually quite a bit more expensive. It's like $25. But the 24-day one is only like $16-17. But yeah, you got to get on that. We also got an advent calendar for the dogs. It's like dog toys, which is just like a bunch of like little squeaky things. Yeah, see? A crime. I love cheese. And what's your favorite cheese right now from Aldi? The problem with Aldi, I will say the big problem with Aldi is that, listen, I get obsessed with like certain things that I like. I know, big shocker. They're constantly changing their inventory. And so there's some stuff that they have all the time, but a lot of times their stuff changes regularly. So like my favorite cheese right now is actually this goat cheese that's got cocoa on the rind. You can't really taste the cocoa. It's kind of like whatever. But the cheese itself is so creamy and delicious. It's so good. And then your favorite right now, it's like a cheddar, is it chives and...
It has chives and something
else in it.
So good.
That one's a little more crumbly and it's got a little more funky flavor to it. But my favorite is like this goat cheese one that is not gamey at all. It is so creamy and delicious. And every time I go back, even if I still have one in the fridge, I'm like, or Vicky has to go to the store, I'm like, you better grab another one of those cheeses because I just know I'm going to go one day and it's going to be freaking gone and it's never coming back again.
It's true.
So...
okay, so what are the plans for the rest of this week? So for me, I actually have, right after we finish this live in a few minutes, I have my jewelry consignment client that I've been working with all year, dropping off a few more bins of jewelry. So I'm going to try and get some of that listed.
You might want to prioritize that over the next couple of weeks.
I am planning on it. Thank you. Thanks for taking the words out of my mouth. I'm going to be prioritizing getting some of that listed, especially because of, obviously we're doing, it's Christmas season and then we head right into Valentine's Day, and that's the biggest buying season for jewelry. So I'm going to try to get as much of that listed and sorted as possible. I've actually gotten through, by the end of today, I will have gone through and put my hands on every single item that I brought back from Diane's house. I have hundreds of items that are not listed, but I have gone through and listed every single item that by the end of today that is possible to list.
Yeah.
So there's that anyway. No, it's not raining here. It's been raining all week, though.
Total blue skies.
It's been raining all
now.
week. And you're in the Phoenix area, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, it's totally blue skies now. It's been overcast and rainy for the last like 10 days or so. But yeah, what I'm actually excited about, now we kind of go over the disappointment to some degree of not doing Christmas and not going anywhere together. It's been like 3 years since we've at least 3 years that every December we've been going away. We've been going away for at least a week. And it's always like right at that time when sales kind of really ramp up, even when we don't have a Q4, the people who are doing the last minute shopping, it's like we make the ridiculous decision to basically throw a wrench in our sales by leaving for a week every December.
We do the silly thing that, we got married the week before Christmas 3 years ago.
But it is what it is. But this year we're not doing that. And so like Vicky's going to be gone for 6 days, but I'm going to be shipping for her. And hopefully she's leaving like right after my 6-week appointment, and my 6-week appointment is supposed to be, as long as everything's going fine, that's supposed to be when my lifting restrictions are removed, and then it's going to be just basically up to my comfort. But I think even today I could, for the most part, ship for you. It might take me all day between both of our stuff, but it is what it is.
You don't need to.
I can do it.
You don't need to lift anything super heavy for me to get to my stuff anyway. But yeah, we're trying to, I'm going to go away for 7 days. Oh yeah, Jen, you're 12-18, we're 12-17. It'll be 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'll be home. I'll be back in time for us to celebrate our anniversary. And I was just looking at the dates there that, Kim mentioned. You may have to go visit Kim and Parker by yourself. I might be gone. Saturday the 11th or the 12th.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think the Saturday is the
Saturday's
13th.
the 13th. So yeah, you will be gone.
I think I'm going to be gone, Kim. Sorry.
You're not sorry. You're going to be having fun in Florida.
Taking a break, Adam, during the football game. Ugh. Sports ball. Sportsing. Ugh.
Anyway, all right, it's 3 o'clock. We better wrap this up because, like Vikki said, we've got her jewelry consignment client is going to be showing up here in the very, very near future, so we would need to be off the computer. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us once again. Look at us, 2 weeks in a row.
I know. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
For everybody that celebrates, I hope you're doing something nice.
Eat lots of food.
We are thankful for you every day, not just once a year.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing your lives with us. And we will see you again next week.
Yeah. Also, only losers eat pumpkin pie. All right, bye.